Alright, what's up everybody? Swordbadger here, back at you with some more casts, and this time I got something special for you because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a series from the CTL from the semifinals. We're gonna hop right on into it with this first set of the entire thing, and I will be uploading these series by series because of data issues and streaming has not been gentle to me recently, so I'm gonna have to do things a little around my ear to get to my elbow, and oh my come on. Let's go ahead and back on out of this. Get right back into it. Sorry about that. That is going to be one heck of a thing to deal with. Let's get right on back into it. Let's redo this whole thing from the beginning, and we're going to hop into a game between Quiz and Toondragon. Up here in the top right, spawning for the Platinum Heroes, it is Toondragon. And up here in the top right, representing PiGPan, it is Quiz. A little bit to the left there, but whatever. We're gonna just rock on into this. Gonna be a fairly standard start. Gonna be a bit of a cut production. 13 pylon for Quiz here. Is gonna be a little bit troublesome if he tries to play this to a macro game, but if he doesn't try to leverage an early tech advantage to try to get some harassment done, he will fall inevitably very far behind. Looking over here on the other side of the map, it is going to be some fairly standard stuff. No proxy buildings for our player from Platinum Heroes. It is going to be very straight-laced macro. One wonders if he might be an EU player from how straight-laced it is. Now, looking back over here. Still no gas. Oh, that's a gas. Alright. Alrighty. Sitting in out a scout. Gonna check out what exactly is going on with Toondragon. Alright, up here for Toondragon, we see a single gas going down. It is 17 supply. It is 18 supply, which means that this is not going to be an aggressive game. He's going to be looking to go for a Reaper to expand and probably a very fast drop. Maybe even a Widowmine drop. Up here, looks like Quiz forgot to chrono. That's going to hurt. Definitely do need your chrono, and it is going to be this probe looking to be a little bit of a nuisance here. Not going to be able to do terribly too much. Orbital starts, Reaper starts, and this SCV looks to be looking for a Nexus. He's going to find what it is a little bit early, about 3 seconds too early, and he is going to in fact spot. Where is he going? Where is he going? Oh, he's going to be checking the third, and he just goes to go up in the main. He doesn't even scout. This is really bad. This probe being a nuisance, clearly distracting Toondragon from his normal everyday habits. And he's going to rally it to that probe. And that probe, that's a sneaky, that's a dead probe. It's a dead, very sneaky probe. Natural finish, natural starting up for both players. What has Quiz got? He's going to be chronoing out an Adept. And as this Reaper is very occupied with his probe, he is going to be giving Quiz enough time to get out that Adept. Now, I really don't like this wall off for Quiz. It doesn't really do much to really stop the Reaper. I would far prefer it to be Cybercore right about here, or maybe right about here, and a gateway right about here to really force the Reaper over here, go around his ear to get to his elbow. But as it stands, this Reaper's going to hop in, this Adept's going to be ready for it, this Adept's going to get 2 shots off, and a third, no, that Reaper just gets out just in time. Over here on the other side is a factory starting up a reactor behind that, and a Marina. It's going to be a Reaper Marina to reactors. It is so far nothing terribly different. He is going to lift off, try to land that barracks onto the factory, which means either Widowmines or we're going to see Hellions here. So thus far, keeping this Reaper alive, checking for thirds, going to be seeing what's going on. And on the other side, it is going to be Cyclones. Alright, now, my personal opinion on the Cyclone is that it's not my favorite unit. And even beforehand, it was very strong. It was very good in the defensive to help Terrans hold on against Warp Prism harassment and whatnot, but as it stands, you have to rely on Vikings and Mines to really help deal with the Warp Prism harass. On the other side of the map, it is going to be this Reaper diving in, going to try to catch some damage on some drones. Not going to quite get another. It is going to take some damage. Oh, he did get 1 kill. Never mind. A second Adept and another mineral line. Observer coming across the map. This Robo Opener, very safe from Quiz. Going to help him against these cyclones, should they come across the map, as the stands are saying on the other side of the map, this is a very big map, so by the time they really get across, this Immortal will be out. Stalker's finishing up, no third on the way, and at this point the third is very late for Quiz, who isn't floating a whole lot, but on the other side, we see a similar story. No money? Well, he has enough money for one. He's just gonna full wall. What does he think this is? What does he think this is? Gonna get to it. Maybe he's just as confused by the opening as Quiz is. There's still just an Immortal producing here. 4 Stalkers, nothing really doing much. So Pylon's going to be starting up as Quiz runs into a supply block. It is a pretty nasty supply block. This observer going to come in and it's going to see everything. Let's look at this whole thing from Quiz's point of view, who is in fact, what on earth are you doing, Quiz? Why are you running? Let's go ahead and go back to that observer who seems to be scouting just about everything, including this wall. Gonna see that it is in fact a full wall. Gonna see a 1-1-1. Let's go back to everyone's camera. It is gonna be a Banshee building, cloak on the way. Banshee already finished and a couple of cyclones, so that means this... Where is that? This has to come home. This has to come home, or he has to build a second one. This is already sitting there idle. He sees his opponent is only on 2 base. The third just starting up right now. It's gonna hit pretty late. This Banshee is staying at home. I guess he's gonna wait until Cloak finishes, though. If you send it across now, I would not mind it. Cloak would be done by the time it reaches across the map, and he would be just about there to deal the damage he needs to. Looks like he's gonna be waiting for 2 Banshees. On the other side of the map, what is our hero? Oh, maybe not our hero. Depends on how you look at it. He's my hero. He is a legend. He is a god. It is gonna be Quiz going for a Twilight Counts, but not really seeing a whole lot of use out of it. Already over here on the side of the map, a second Banshee is gonna pop. It looks like he's gonna be waiting for a third Banshee. Already Quiz getting away with murder here. Floating 500 should be able to drop a third sometime this year. Quiz, you're scaring me, buddy. You're scaring me. Tanka siege up here on the high ground. What is he trying to defend against? Blink Stalkers? Blink is like 2 minutes too late. 3 minutes too late, I think. Double Forge going to be here on the other side. 2 or another Banshee being up here. Third Banshee joins the original 3, and a scan comes down. Where's the scan? It is in the main. He is going to spot the Double Forge, and these 3 start heading across the map, I think. Nope, looks like they're going to help secure the third, and Quiz is just now starting his third, 2 minutes too late. Already his main is starting to mine out. 15 out of 14 going to be telling a story, a tall tale of woe and the lack of peace. A bunch of Stalkers at the natural, a bunch of Stalkers in the main, and an Immortal in the main for whatever inexplicable reason. I suppose that maybe he's worried about an attack from Toondragon, who looks to be just turtling here. Hyperflight rotor's already almost finished. It looks like there's no engineering bay yet, meaning that... Wait, what did Toondragon just do? Oh, he must have selected all those and pulled them over. Doesn't look like he has +1 at all, which means this has been sitting there pretty idly. I mean, on one hand, if by this time Quiz could have maxed out, but for some reason they're all on equal supply. They're all sitting very, very passively. First instance of aggression is going to be coming out of here from Toondragon. It was going to cloak and do some damage to that. Some interesting micro, some good micro coming out of Toondragon, but he is floating 1,000 now. I would not mind if he spent that. Why are you microing this? Why are you losing all these probes, Quiz? Why are you microing this? Just sit it there. Just sit it there. Quiz, it looks like he's going to be losing an assimilator. Maybe not the Nexus so much. Let me go ahead and turn this down because this is a little obnoxious. Sound effects. Yep, sorry about that. Gonna be hopping right into this, and he's gonna try to build cannons right under the Banshees. Quiz, have you lost your ever-loving mind? I promised I would be positive, but it's hard to be positive when looking at someone who must have been drunk at the time of conception of this idea. Already a very desperate position for Quiz, who has to get damage done. He just can't let these survive. Or he has to push right now. Literally, he can push... I take that back. He can't push right now. His opponent is massing siege tanks. Quiz is floating about 1,500. He could drop a gold base, a fourth base, a fifth base. Maybe not a fifth base, but he could still do another warp and start croning a little more, start getting this army across the map. If he can do that, he'll be in a very fine position. As long as he has charge. And instead he's getting Colossus and extended thermal lance. I don't really mind it, but his opponent's going mech. Wait, Toondragon, you do realize this is a TVP, right? Literally, these immortals are the end of your hopes and dreams. Now, Colossus being there, well, that's debatable. Gonna be looking over here, and he's going mech. Toondragon. Oh, you dirty little bastard. How dare you? I don't know. I don't even know what I was bent about. He is playing very well, concerning. Is playing very well. He does have a fairly stable setup, but he has Hellbats. Let's look at this. Let's look at the units. 8 Hellbats, 2 Cyclones, 12 Siege Tanks, 13 Marines, 5 Banshees, and 4 Hellions. Let's go back to the production tab. Let's look over on the other side of the map. These Banshees still looking to get some damage done. It looks like they in total have about 24 kills. Quiz! Oh god, he's an F2 addict. He's an F2 addict. Come on, blink, 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 blink. What the Okay. Okay, maybe not blink. Toondragon already close to being maxed out. Gonna be grabbing a fourth, like, 2 to 3 minutes too late. On the other side of the map, Quiz's army is just so badly out of position right now. He doesn't have any idea of what's going on. Quiz, you're scaring me, dude. You literal Jesus! You see this coming across the map? This is a terrifying a terrifying force for the Terran. So the problem right now for Quiz is holding on. Toondragon already F2ing over here, going to be trying to end this battle as quickly as possible. Budge Zealots start up a little too late here, I think. Yeah, it's a little too late. And Quiz runs into another supply block. Doesn't look like he's feeling very comfortable right now. He did mention he took a break from StarCraft, so his mistakes are those of a rusty player. So that's not really much to rag on him about. The Siege Tank's going to siege up in a... Play it again, Sam. Let's click on a Siege Tank, folks. What does that not reach? Anything. Okay, maybe this. But I think that's the only one that reaches it, right? Yeah, it's one of 2 that reaches it. What is this doing sieging up all the way back here? What are you hoping to accomplish with this? Because if chargelets get onto your tanks, the entire goal is to keep these alive to protect the tanks. If you're keeping these all the way far back, your goal is to put these forward, over here. What the heck, Toondragon? Alright, gonna get kills on 2 gateways, which is pretty bad, and Quiz is floating 2,000. Let's speed it up to normal speed. These are gonna be piling on in here, and oh my god. And he just walks everything into this. At this point, he has been thoroughly shredded. Bent over the table, and given what for. These Banshees putting in the work of 1,000 people, and at this point, Quiz is dead. There's nothing he can really do to recover from this, and both players are floating over over 2,000. Oh my god. But that game 1 will in fact be going to Toondragon. As we hop into game 2 here between Toondragon and Quiz on this map Golden Aura, I have a few expectations for this map. This map is a very good map. I think I like it for PvT. It looks the openness of the spaces and the rocks that are hidden between here. It is going to be a very open map, meaning that normally what would work in the open are siege tanks, or sorry, no, mines and siege tank. No, not siege tanks. What works out in the open for Terran? Anything that does splash damage, I think. No, 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 no. Not splash damage. Marines are good on this map, but Marines are good on any map. But I don't really know. But let's introduce our guy down here in the bottom right of Golden Art. It is going to be Quiz representing PiGPan. Taste the bacon. Going to be a 15 gateway out of our dear friend Quiz. And on the other side of the map, we have representing Platinum Heroes. It is Toondragon. With a cool looking vulture on the side of the command center, he is going to be going for a fairly standard opener. And, well, we have pretty interesting game. It's going to be one gas again. As this pro comes in, going to be harassing this worker. Toondragon's going to keep it safe for the time being. Worker going to be coming across the map, and the cybernetics core starts up. I feel like that is on time. Let's not back it up. He is going to lose the probe on the other side of the map, which is pretty important for getting all that scouting info, getting confirmation on what's going on. But he's already seen that it is one gap. Let's actually, before we make any assumptions. Okay, so my critique for Quiz would be that when you're trying to scout, you generally want to go run a circuit around here, scout the gases, see what's going on, and then go and look at harassing the SCV building, the command center. If you spend too much time trying to do that, then that's more gas being mined over here, and that's less heads up you get for seeing what's coming to you. On the other side of the map, the Reaper is going to be taking the place of the SCV as the main scouting. And up here in the main, it is going to be a Stargate opener. Now, Stargate openers in PvT, I'm not terribly comfortable with them. But it looks like, as it stands, I mean, it's a pretty strong unit. And oh my god, that's a vicious supply block. He is going to, in fact, lose a worker here. Maybe even 2 before this finishes up. Maybe 3. This Reaper is definitely putting in the work. And 4? Oh my god. What a nasty supply block. And to top it off, already this is a really terrible opener for Quiz. And that is a very dead Reaper after getting 5 worker kills. 5. Oh my god. Gonna be a command center floating out over here. This is I like this position for Toondragon so much. Quiz gonna be chronoing out an Oracle, gonna try to get some damage done on the other side of the map. Not a whole lot of anti-air for Toondragon here, who is going to probably go double cyclone. Yep, he was supply block for a bit. Then did he just hat drop? I don't know, but these 2 cyclones are going to be able to fend off this Oracle as it comes across the map. Somehow, despite all that damage, Toondragon is still behind, is still relatively equal. It's equal supply despite all that massive early game damage. I wonder if he missed his macro cycle at all. Going to be this barracks floating out to make a wall to prevent charge outs from really getting on in. Going to be some Phoenix coming across on the other side of the map, which I think nowadays deal well with the cyclones, I think, but it is going to be some pretty vicious damage coming out of this Oracle, who forces all these workers to be pulled, and now it's a slight worker advantage for Quiz, while having a army advantage for Toondragon. Let's go ahead and look at Quiz's camera. He did not, in fact, spot it. I personally, before that dive, always revelate. You want to revelate here to find out what's going on over at this wall, because if you don't know what's going on, it's going to be a bit of a struggle to really get your bearings under you. Over here, it is going to be double Phoenix. He could be able to send this across the map, get some damage done. It is 9 out of 16 workers up here in the main, and down here in the natural, it is going to be fully saturated here in just a second without the gases. So I'm wondering if he isn't trying to go for a sort of bio with a little bit of mech thrown in, trying to get an early transition to the late game going. But it doesn't look like he's in any hurry to. Dropping a third command center, not even starting his gases. He's going to be fairly gas-starved if he wants to go for a mech comm. There's another Cyclone building. He is getting Hurricane Thrusters, meaning that those are going to be some speedy Cyclones. This is not looking good for Quiz. And down here at the bottom right is going to be another supply block here, as these three Phoenix are bunched together, not doing anything. What a lazy bunch of people, and no pylon here. Oh, wait, something finished. Oh, these two pylons finished up. Gonna be on supply block and Quiz. This is very rough position as it stands. Only 2 Marines for our Terran player, who has just a train of Cyclones. But Stalker's being warped in over here. They're going to be very much hard pressed. Wait, he's pulling worker? No, he's floating out his third. He's going to be looking to secure these Cyclones pushing across the map. A third should have gone down about 2 minutes ago. So this is going to be a very uncomfortable position for Quiz to be in, who has a much slower third and a much. It looks like the armies are of similar size over here. This Stalker is starting to gather up. Another nasty supply block. Another Phoenix on the way. 4 friggin' pylons. The other thing that really helps, that this third really helps with, is being able to ensure that you don't get supply blocked at 86. Oh my god. Where once there was a worker advantage, now these Cyclones are king, and he's free to kill him, I think. I don't know, though. Oh, no. Okay. He just walked those Phoenix. All 4 Phoenix into Cyclones. Already an uncomfortable position. It's going to be made further uncomfortable because those units were really helping him have some semblance of map control and having him have some semblance of control in the game. You do not want to engage that with the smaller army of Stalkers that aren't even upgraded. He's going to try to be going charge here, which is a very... I'm not certain how I feel about it. Charge is a very strong upgrade, but against Cyclones who will are basically specifically designed for kiting, they're going to really put them down the drain. Another siege tank sieging up. More factories on the way. This is a really uncomfortable position. Quiz, I think, is panicked. Looks like he's going to be trying to go for a charge out stalker attack. As soon as this charge that blink stalker attack, I should amend. It is going to be another Phoenix finished up, another Oracle, a Void Ray, which is literally the worst thing you want to get Siege Tank Cyclone. The Siege Tank, he is almost making Toondragon's comp useful. He's like, hey buddy, I noticed you have a bunch of Cyclones and a bunch of Siege Tanks. How about I help you make use of them? This Cyclone's going to dive on top of those, these Charger's going to dive on top of those Cyclones. The Cyclone's going to be caught completely off guard, going to lose 2 before he starts kiting back. He's going to start scouting the corners, wondering where there's a base. More charge lots on the way. Blink of Void Ray. This is bad for Quiz. Already a bunch of... This is an all-in right here. He has how many gates? That is 9 gates. 9 gates. That is the has charge lot all-in magic number. 9 gates is how much you want if you really want your opponent to die and you don't care how many minerals you waste to do it. So these Cyclones gotta charge right on in. Gotta get a tank. Gotta get another tank. Or gotta get a Cyclone. Gotta get 2 Hellions standing out there in the natural, just outside the natural. But they're gonna get cleaned up here. More charge lots on the way, and this is not looking pretty for Quiz taking an army lead here with that beautiful engage. Gonna be hopping right on into this. He needs a third, and he needed it yesterday. Already Toondragon up on 70 workers and mules, and just a sheer amount of base income that is going to cause him to rocket into any late game pretty comfortably. No 4th yet. Normally you want your 4th as Terran before you want to be grabbing your 4th just as soon as the And you also want to be attacking, because if you just stay at home and macro up and max out, you're not going to really be doing a whole lot. He's not really doing a whole lot with, oh wait, never mind, I am full of crap, because those are Cyclones doing a lot. Doing God's work, as people might say. These charge slots gonna catch one, gonna catch maybe two, gonna catch two, gonna catch three, gonna catch four, maybe? Yeah. Is he gonna catch four? No, it doesn't look like he's gonna be able to catch four. These two brave probes gonna be catching up. Gonna try to catch some even more. This Void Ray comes in and dies. On the other side of the map, everything is F2'd home. Let's go ahead and look at this. He does not. Okay, that's a very uncomfortable thing to be dealing with. A recall going to be coming down here, going to be recalling to his natural, and that is going to be the end of that engagement as this charge lot is blasted into oblivion. But a lot of splash damage from that tank going to cause a lot of harm to those Hellions and Cyclones. Quiz is in a very dire position. His army is smaller. His worker count is smaller. I think if Toondragon just macros up and gets more units out, he is in a very fine position. He's going to continue going mech. Now, my personal view on mech versus Protoss is, the only way you're going to make it viable from a balance perspective is to completely remove the Immortal and the Charge lot. For sure, yeah, those two units can really be dealt with Cyclones and Hellions, but the problem is that they just dish so much damage out. And the mech is a slow comp. Yeah, sure, battle mech is fun, but as soon as Immortals start taking pot shots at you, your army just becomes 10 times as uncomfortable. And we're gonna see that bug in action as this little guy is up here on top of the pillar. Oh, look, I never really noticed that. It does have little flame designs on it. Going to be an eBay wall off for whatever reason. I don't really understand this from Toondragon, who is going to be very, very safe here, not taking any chances against a Protoss. That is still on 2 base at the 12-minute mark. Army supply heavily favoring Toondragon, worker supply heavily favoring Toondragon. It is just about time for him to push across the map, end this game, and it looks like he is just about ready to do that. 3-3 attack and arm. Gonna cause these Cyclones to trade well against these charge lots, which really shouldn't happen. Especially not when just standing there. These Stalkers gonna blink back. There's 9 Stalkers. He does not have enough to deal with this. These siege tanks sieging up here gonna try to get off to a defensive position, try to hold against the attack. The engagement is struck. Everything is going up in flames, and Quiz is going down. Toondragon coming in here with a fury of 1,000 Terrans. Revenge for everything that the Protoss have done to the Chow Sarin people. And then it's going to be Toondragon taking the series 2-0. So, a few things that I noticed is that Quiz definitely does not want to just try to go double forge on 2 base. Up to the 13-minute mark. It's just a very uncomfortable position to be in, especially against a Terran. With a Terran going up to 5 bases, you want to be up a base on the Terran. And especially against mech, where you can just pretty much out-macro him and just mass charge lots and pretty much win at that particular point as long as you keep up your upgrades. It is going to be a very difficult time for the Terran to really push into you if you know how to deal with mech. And mech is invalidated by at least 3 different units off the top of my head right now. Disruptors, Immortals, and Charge Lots. Depending on the type of mech, maybe even Stalkers. And that's the problem with trying to mech into a Protoss, is that they just have the right tools to deal with it. I mean, hell, if you massed Tempests, mech falls apart. Because, yeah, for sure, Thors are really good at dealing with that sort of thing, and Cyclones, again, are also really good at dealing with these things. The Tempest can just fire at the Cyclone out of range now. It is going to be very difficult for a Terran to hold against mech, but as Quiz was not prepared for Toondragon. And that settles that games 1 and 2. Between Toondragon and Quiz. Toondragon taking the 2-0 for the Platinum Heroes. And that is very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable matchup. But yeah, you know, when I say very uncomfortable matchup, I'm referring specifically to the mech. Because realistically speaking, mech, while it is pretty fun, is not meant for Protoss. Not meant for versus Protoss either. So, yeah, Toondragon not really using all the tools available to him at this particular time as a Terran. Gonna be sticking mostly with mech and winning. GG, well played, both players. And I'll see you guys in the next cast, where we shall cover Wobulator versus Wingent, Immortals versus the Terran, the Immortal Queen. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed that cast. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Drink water, hug your parents, and have a wonderful week.